Hello everyone. I've got a alpha feature, another alpha feature I've added to Mapbox Bridge, and wanted to show that to you. It's actually live, as you can see on the train website. It's actually live, and it's called Weightmaps. So now what we can do is produce weight maps for your selected landscape that you can import into Unreal and use those weight map files to text your landscape. So let me give you a demo. So let's go ahead and choose just my standard Mount Rainier, and let's just take a look. You don't. This is just for this weight map here is just for viewing purposes. You don't actually do anything with it, but let's click on it, and it's going to go to the same location we've selected. And you can see here, now what I've basically done is for each feature, such as, and let me go ahead and show you what looks at. So basically I've taken a Mapbox, the same Mapbox map, and Mapbox has the ability to segment the map based on types. So we've got a forest, water, scrub, trees, rock, sand, grass, and so forth. And let me show you that map in Mapbox itself. Let me just open up Mapbox and show you what. So if you're not familiar with Mapbox, this is what we're using when we're creating everything. And we'll go to their studio, and you can get a free Mapbox account. It's a really great program. Um, So here, so what this allows us to do, I mean, the original map, looks like our normal map, something like that, right? Um, but what we can do is, if you see here, you can sit there and style any particular attribute. So in this case, forest, I'm making forest. Anything that's on this map that it considers forest, I'm making red. Now, how do you do that? You add a layer and you choose what type of layer you want. So in this case, land use or water. But in land use, you can do land use, okay? And then you can do a filter and create a filter. And then you've got these types or classes. So, classes. So, for example, sand. So I can choose sand. So now anything that's sand is going to be black. Of course, I can change that color to whatever I want. I can change it to anything I want, red or whatever. And so that's how I've labeled everything here. I've basically gone through each one of these things and I've said, okay, farmland, I'm going to style anything that's considered farmland, purple. And there's other attributes and stuff that you can do, and I've done the most of them ones that I think. I mean, there's still other things probably we can do. Some stuff's missing. Like I don't know what that actually is, so I have to figure out what that piece of missing land that's not styled at all. Land covers basically everything else that's not one of these, and so that's missing. So still some work to do on the map itself. But what this does is that now that we have just a map with particular color values, we can basically extract the water, all the blue, and turn that into basically a splat map or height map. So we can say, well, we're going to extract anything that's water, anything that's this blue color here, and make this white and everything else black, and now we have our splat map. So that's how it's designed within Mapbox itself, and this is what, if you look to the weight map, this is what it's, sometimes it does that, just refresh it. Um, this map here is the same as this here. Now I've created my own version of this here, so when you guys are using it, you're going to want to go to settings, and it says here copy Mapbox weight style. So you'll click on that. It will it'll copy a new style here in your Mapbox account, and then all you need to do is go to that and go to share and grab the, let's see, what is it, the style URL, just grab the name and the style here. Oops. So when you go into your Mapbox, grab the name and the style. Can't copy just that. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to copy the whole thing. And then go to this part right here where it says right under, so after you click that to copy it, you're going to go to this part here. It'll be blank for you, and just paste that in there and just get rid of the HTTP, the first part of it. So you just need your name and the style, and then hit save. Okay, and then you can go to Weightmap, and it'll be there for you. That way you're using your own version, and you can modify it as you need. So, and put whatever colors you want. Now, when you do define your colors, if you decide to use a different scheming than what I have and define your own colors, how do I get rid of this? Let's see, escape. There we go. So like when you're defining your colors here, right here is where you define the colors. When you're defining your colors, they need to match up to the program that I use to extract it. So go down here and go to, here's the color value. So I've got forest, and that's my RGB color value, and they need to match up, okay, in order for the extraction program to work. So let's actually see the extraction program in process. Let's go ahead and choose my normal map here. I'm going to select Create Weightmap Splat Files here. I'm going to go ahead and change it to 2017 by 2017 for my landscape. And just to verify, we'll go there and we can see that it's selected. Again, if I move this, click here, it's going to move the selection over there as well. So that's all working as expected. Let me just clear that out real quick. That's my download folder. Let me select on that again. Okay, good. All right, so now I've got my area selected. We can see that, we've got some forest is red, and I forget what I labeled it. Water is blue, and we've got the snow and ice for white. You can see all that good stuff there. Oops, let's close that down. All right, so that's selected. Checked my create Weightmap splat map files, selected my landscape size, and instead of sending to Unreal, because this is still a beta manual process, I'm not actually running the create Weightmap files in this one, so I'm just going to download my height map for now, as this is a work in progress. So go ahead and hit download. All right, and it'll start. And if you open your download location, you can see right here, you can watch it build it. So this here is basically a copy of what you're looking at. All right, and then it's going to go through and extract each feature set. So hillshade, grass, glacier, forest. So now these black and white images are your splat maps. All right, so let's go ahead, and since we're doing this the manual way, let me show you how to do it manually to import it. So we've got in our Unreal, we're going to go to landscape here, and a second, and I'm using 5.2 right now, since let me get down to our landscape. There we go, 5.2, and I'm using this open land master material for my landscape material. It's a pretty cool free. It's not free. I mean, it is free for non-commercial use on GitHub. You can get it, or you can get it off the marketplace and purchase it and pay for the product. And I'd recommend it. It's a good product to support the developer. It's pretty cool. So anyway, let's see. Let me import my height map that I downloaded. So the height map is this 16-bit image here. And go ahead and hit OK. Everything looks good. We'll leave it as is and import it. And give it a second. Now, normally we got to go do our weight maps. This is generally how any auto material works. So just go ahead and choose forest layer. Let it do its thing. It'll build it up. Okay, so let's go back and take a look, see what we got. Okay, so now we've got a normal auto material. Looks really good. Did a nice job. So you can see that, I think these are rivers right here, but they're not, obviously they're colored in grass and stuff like that. There's no, just grass and rock and snow. But all right, anyway, so let's go ahead and let's do a import our weight map. So to do that, we need to pick a layer, and right now I'm just going to use sand layer for the forest. I know that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's just, it's just a layer I've got to use. So I'm going to go ahead and add a layer info for my sand layer, and if you're not using this auto material, you would just hit plus and add weight blended layer. I mean, again, this is normal auto material stuff, no big deal here. All right, once that's done, go to manage, import, and then if this layer is hidden like that, just go to layers, drop that down, and then you want to go to yours. Let's maximize this out a little bit. Go to our sand layer, check that, okay? And now we're going to import the layer we want. And this one I'm just going to import, let's see, I'm going to import trees, you know. And so anything basically in this white area should now turn into a sand layer. So let's see if that works. Cross your fingers. Okay, and choose that, and then import. Okay. All right. See. So let's go back to selection, and look at that. So that area, that white area, now is all pasted in the correct location as sand. Now, I mean, if it was forest, you might want to. I don't know if you. I mean, I don't know how to do trees, but if it was just grass or shrubs or whatever, you could, whatever texture paint layer you want. But see, we now have the sand layer. It didn't overwrite any of the other auto material, which is good, and you know, so things look pretty good. So let's do. Let's take another one. I'm going to do water, and I'm going to use my mud layer because I just don't have a water layer. So let's go back and go to paint, and I'm going to grab. Yeah, we'll do my top layer. Make it white, at least something sort of like it. So let's do alpha there. Okay, and I'm going to go to manage, and we're going to go to top, import, find my water. Here's my water, and open. All right, and import that. And selection. So now you can see that we have imported water. Now here is the problem right here. You see all this pixelated stuff? That is an issue I need to try to solve, and that's due to, and again, we've got blending issues here. We're not blending, so again, that's why this is kind of alpha, because I don't know how to solve these yet. So we've got, this is a resolution. The reason we're getting this pixelated stuff, it's a resolution problem with the actual download. So anyway, you can see it's still pretty cool, work in progress, but you can see all the rivers all mapped out, already laid out for you on your downloaded map. So, and any other layers you want. So once we get the pixelated issue and the blending issues resolved, it'll be pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. Let me just go over again a couple of the issues I have with the pixelating. So here is the original map, and all I'm doing is extracting black and whites from the colors. And if you look at the original map and look close at it, this is the best download quality you can get. You can see that it's all pixelated here, and this is from Mapbox. This is the best quality I can get. Unfortunately, I mean it's unfortunate that when I look at it here, on the map itself, it's beautiful. I mean, it's got a little bit, barely even see it, but I can zoom in really close, and I don't have any real pixelation. Everything looks good, but using their API, and this is the only way to get it, using their API and downloading it, this is what I get. So my next problem is what kind of software program or what can I do to basically fill these pixels and smooth them out. So fill all these missing pixels or smooth these missing pixels out for each color, or the other idea is instead of trying to do it for each color, just make one for black and white, and then I can go ahead and separate these, and then I can grab each one of these black and white ones, and then go in and use some kind of program to smooth the edges out. And so that's my next step is what kind of software, what kind of programming can I use? And I'm looking into computer vision and some other stuff. If you guys have any good ideas, and I'm mainly doing this in JavaScript, but it doesn't have to be. Um, I can use Python or other stuff, but I prefer, if I can use it in JavaScript. I have access to GDAL. So if you guys know any of that kind of stuff, a way to smooth this kind of stuff, please let me know. All right, so I think that's it. So let me again go over it one more time real quick. So when you open up the train.justgeeks.com, the only thing you're going to need to do to set up the weight maps is add your own style, weight map style in here, and you can do that just by copying mine and then putting in your Mapbox ID in here. And then now, once that's done and you have the weight maps, then all you have to do is your normal thing, select whatever you want, check create weight maps, and it's going to be a manual download. I don't have this working with the send to Unreal. And then again, you import it into Unreal by going to landscape, you know, new, import your height map, and then after that, you go to your uh, manage import and then choose the layers. Now you can't choose any of these layers until you actually choose it as a paint layer. So that means like if you look at this, it's one thing. So I can't click on any of these any of these other layers. You know, can't click on mud because you have to first establish it as a layer, meaning you have to go in and make sure you add the layer info to it. Once you add the layer info, then you can go to manage. Then you can choose, that layer and import. I don't know. Let's import this guy and do one more. And so there we go. So now we've imported that. So, so we've got a problem with the blending. I'm not sure how to solve that yet. Maybe with the material. I don't know. I haven't looked into that yet. And then the pixelation. So we've got an issue with the pixelation on it. But still, pretty cool. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.